The streets of Atlanta are officially on fire, and the entire hip-hop world is standing in absolute shock. What you're about to witness is the total demolition of a 20-year truce between two of the most dangerous and powerful titans in rap history. Just hours ago, an explosive, unedited video leaked from the depths of 1017 headquarters, showing Gucci Mane completely losing his mind, shattering a glass table, and delivering a chilling, direct threat to T.I. This isn't just another internet beef, and this isn't for publicity. This is a cold-blooded, raw, and terrifyingly personal declaration of war. T.I. thought he could use his final retirement album, Kill the King, to quietly bury Gucci Mane's legacy under a mountain of lyrical disses, subtle insults, and devastating street allegations. But Clifford opened a door he can never close again. Gucci Mane has officially broken his silence, and he didn't just respond. He threw a grenade directly into T.I.'s retirement plans, calling him a delusional, washed-up actor who has completely lost his mental stability. The tension is so thick right now that insider sources claim federal authorities and Atlanta police are on high alert for immediate physical retaliation. Do not blink, do not pause, and do not turn away, because we are breaking down every single second of the most dangerous confrontation hip-hop has ever seen. To truly comprehend the catastrophic gravity of this unfolding war in 2026, we have to look back at the dark, bloody foundation of modern trap music. We're talking about the absolute architects of the Atlanta rap scene, Clifford T.I. Harris and Roderick Gucci Mane Davis. For over 2 decades, these two men have sat on opposite thrones, commanding multi-million-dollar empires built on concrete, street politics, and raw lyrical power. But underneath the glittering diamond chains and global fame lies a toxic, simmering ocean of deep-seated resentment and unresolved trauma that was always bound to explode. This isn't just a random clash of egos. This is a multi-generational power struggle for the very soul of Atlanta. Back in the mid-2000s, Atlanta rap was divided into 2 distinct worlds. T.I. emerged from Buckhead with the calculated precision of a corporate kingpin. He crowned himself the King of the South and successfully rebranded his street image into mainstream gold. He secured major Hollywood movie deals, corporate endorsements, and a massively popular family-friendly reality television show. T.I. wanted the world to see him as an elite diplomat, a man who had successfully outgrown the trenches to become a global brand. But while T.I. was busy chasing Hollywood validation and clean corporate contracts, Gucci Mane was dominating the absolute darkest corners of Zone 6. Gucci was the raw, unhinged, and terrifyingly authentic voice of the streets. He didn't care about corporate sponsors or television networks. He built his entire reputation on being completely untouchable, a man who survived the deadliest blocks of the city without ever compromising with the mainstream machine. Then came the year 2005, the definitive moment that etched Gucci Mane's name into street folklore forever. When Gucci Mane successfully beat a high-profile murder charge after an armed confrontation with an associate of Young Jeezy, his street credibility turned into bulletproof armor. He walked out of that courtroom a living myth, carrying a reputation that left the entire industry terrified to cross him. This massive cultural divide created an unspoken, toxic Cold War between T.I. and Gucci Mane. Gucci secretly viewed T.I. as an industry plant, an actor protected by corporate executives who didn't know the true grit of survival. On the other hand, T.I. looked down on Gucci, viewing him as a reckless liability and a chaotic force who lacked the intelligence to build a legitimate, structured corporate empire. For over 20 years, they maintained a fragile, uneasy distance, sharing the same streets but never sharing the same room, knowing that a single spark could ignite a citywide war. The hip-hop community foolishly believed this ancient malice had been buried forever during the historic events of late 2020. When Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy stood on that legendary Versus stage, staring into the jaws of past bloodshed and ultimately shook hands, the world thought Atlanta had finally healed. T.I. was loudly celebrating the moment online, orchestrating the narrative of a new, peaceful era of Southern unity. But in the rap ecosystem, peace is nothing more than a tactical illusion. It is a moment to reload, analyze your opponent's weaknesses, and wait for the perfect psychological moment to strike. That moment finally arrived in February 2026. T.I. shook the foundations of the music world by announcing his retirement album, Kill the King. He marketed the project as his final curtain call, promising his fanbase an uncompromising, raw masterpiece that would cement his legacy as the sole, undisputed ruler of Atlanta rap history. The early singles, like Let Him Know, dominated the charts and radio stations, building an unprecedented wave of anticipation. But behind the triumphant rollout, a sinister trap was being laid. T.I. wasn't just preparing a farewell to his fans. He was systematically using his final platform to settle old scores and decimate the legacies of those who refused to bow to his crown. Gucci Mane was sitting directly in the crosshairs of a lyrical execution, and the explosion that followed has left the entire industry permanently scarred. The definitive moment that shattered this fragile, 20-year truce occurred on the absolute stroke of midnight when Kill the King finally hit global streaming platforms. The entire music industry was listening, analyzing every single syllable, but it was the explosive fourth track, titled Crown Custody, that sent a literal shockwave through the concrete streets of Atlanta. T.I. didn't just drop slick, hidden subliminals. He went completely cold-blooded, delivering a calculated, devastating verse that directly weaponized Gucci Mane's recent legal nightmares and street controversies against him. In a verse that has now gone completely viral across TikTok and Twitter, T.I. rapped with a slow, menacing delivery, mocking a certain boogeyman who built empires on federal paperwork, but comes to the city acting like he runs the streets. He openly pointed at the high-profile federal arrests of Gucci's former 1017 artists, including Pooh Shiesty, implying that while real kings go to the feds and stand 10 toes deep, others turn into soft civilians and cooperate with corporate lawyers behind closed doors just to keep their multi-million-dollar distribution contracts intact. For 12 agonizing hours, there was a suffocating, terrifying silence from Zone 6. Fans were panicking online, flooding the comment sections with viral memes, openly wondering if the trap godfather was too damaged or too legally compromised to respond to such a direct assassination of his character. But behind that wall of silence, an absolute volcano was preparing to erupt. The first massive, jaw-dropping twist hit the internet on a private, anonymous Telegram channel, completely shattering the nature of this feud. A raw, unedited, 3-minute video recording was leaked directly from the inner sanctum of the 1017 recording studios, capturing a glimpse of pure, unadulterated rage that was never supposed to see the light of day. The visual scene described by insiders was nothing short of a psychological thriller. In the dimly lit, smoke-filled studio room, Gucci Mane was pacing back and forth like a caged predator, completely surrounded by heavily armed, stone-faced members of his entourage. His face was entirely distorted with pure, blinding anger, his eyes wide, bloodshot, and fixed on the monitors. As T.I.'s track, Crown Custody, played loudly on repeat through the massive studio speakers, the tension in the room built to a suffocating peak until Gucci Mane completely snapped. With a primal scream of pure fury, he grabbed a massive crystal ashtray from the mixing console and hurled it directly through a pristine glass studio table, shattering it into thousands of razor-sharp pieces that flew across the room. The entire entourage instantly froze in absolute terror, nobody daring to breathe or make eye contact. Gucci Mane then marched directly up to the studio microphone, his chest heaving, pointed his finger aggressively into the camera lens, and unleashed a terrifying, unscripted verbal onslaught directly targeting T.I. He repeatedly yelled T.I.'s government name, calling him Clifford, a delusional, plastic-ass actor who thinks because he went to Hollywood and put on a little suit he can talk down on a real god of the trenches. Gucci screamed into the microphone, calling T.I. a privileged snob who grew up with a silver spoon compared to the raw warfare he survived. He openly dragged T.I.'s own controversial legal history into the light, yelling for the world to remember the infamous Crime Stoppers commercial and questioning how T.I. magically escaped a 30-year federal weapons charge by talking to the government. He closed the chilling recording by delivering a direct, icy threat, telling T.I. never to bring his fake entourage to Zone 6 or perform those songs in his city, promising on everything he loves to turn T.I.'s retirement party into a literal nightmare before reminding him of what happened back in 2005. The leaked video cut out abruptly as a security guard rushed forward to swipe the phone away, but the cultural damage was already instantaneous. Within minutes, the video was ripped and uploaded to every major hip-hop platform, racking up millions of views and completely blinding the public with shock. This wasn't a standard, friendly rap battle anymore. This was an explicitly violent confrontation referencing a notorious real-world casualty from Gucci's past. The entire internet went into an absolute state of panic, waiting for immediate physical retaliation in the streets of Atlanta. But as the world watched the footage in disbelief, the situation grew infinitely darker. A secondary leak emerged from an encrypted group chat belonging to top-tier music promoters, revealing a twist that makes this entire scenario 10 times worse than anyone originally anticipated. It turns out that this explosive video leak was not an accident, nor was it done by a random, starstruck engineer. High-level insider intelligence has just confirmed that the video was a calculated inside betrayal. A deeply trusted, high-ranking member of Gucci Mane's own inner security detail was secretly offered an astronomical six-figure payout by an outside corporate entity to secretly record Gucci's reaction, waiting for the exact moment he lost his composure. This means that the absolute security of 1017 headquarters has been completely compromised from within. Gucci Mane isn't just fighting a war against an old rival on a retirement album. He is actively surrounded by paid informants and corporate spies inside his own camp who are weaponizing his legendary temper to completely destroy his mental stability and financial power. T.I.'s lyrical strike was just the bait, and Gucci Mane walked directly into a perfectly orchestrated trap designed to alienate him from his business partners and legacy. The question hanging over the entire industry right now is terrifyingly simple. If the boogeyman of Atlanta can't even trust the men holding the weapons in his own studio, how far will he have to go to take his ultimate revenge? Do not go anywhere, because the escalation that followed this inside betrayal has just pulled the rest of the industry into the line of fire. The viral explosion that followed this inside betrayal completely paralyzed the internet, causing major social media servers to glitch as millions of frantic hip-hop fans scrambled to witness the fallout. Within 2 hours, the Atlanta Police Department reportedly established an emergency task force, placing undercover units outside both 1017 headquarters and T.I.'s private estates, because the streets knew this wasn't entertainment anymore. This was a ticking time bomb. But while the public was frantically debating the leaked studio video, a secondary, completely unexpected bombshell dropped that has fundamentally shifted the entire narrative of this war. An independent investigative outlet leaked a highly classified security log and a frantic 911 audio file from a multi-million-dollar estate in Buckhead, Atlanta. Just 48 hours prior, T.I. was hosting an ultra-exclusive, private pre-listening celebration for Kill the King for high-level industry executives and close family. According to the jaw-dropping security leak, a caravan of 4 blacked-out, armored SUVs pulled up directly to the front gates of the mansion. Heavily armed men stepped out, demanding that T.I. step past the security perimeter to settle the dispute face-to-face. A terrifying, high-stakes standoff took place in pitch darkness, with private security guards drawing their weapons as Gucci Mane's affiliates stood their ground at the gates. Insiders claimed that inside the house, a furious T.I. had to be physically restrained by his own security team from walking out into an ambush, while family members were weeping in absolute panic. The situation was only defused when the sirens of 3 unmarked police cruisers echoed down the block, forcing the blacked-out SUVs to vanish into the night. But here is the mind-blowing twist that has left the entire industry in absolute horror. Gucci Mane didn't just guess where T.I. was. A leaked audio recording from an encrypted burner phone reveals that Gucci Mane was tipped off by a secret traitor inside T.I.'s own inner sanctum. The voice on the call, which insider sources claim matches a prominent Atlanta producer closely allied with the Harris family, can be heard giving Gucci Mane the exact GPS coordinates and the precise time T.I.'s security detail would be rotating shifts. This means both empires are completely compromised from within, While Gucci Mane is dealing with corporate spies in his studio, T.I. is harboring real-world traitors in his inner circle who are actively setting him up for a dangerous confrontation. The moment this Buckhead standoff and the traitor audio file went viral, the industry backlash was instantaneous, chaotic, and completely uncontrollable. Platforms like No Jumper and World Star were updating their feeds every 60 seconds as the biggest names in the culture began taking cover. DJ Academics instantly went live to an audience of over 100,000 viewers, screaming into his microphone, frantically telling his audience that this is the most dangerous situation hip-hop has faced since the mid-90s, and warning that if somebody doesn't step in to mediate immediately, Atlanta is going to witness an absolute catastrophe on live television. Then, T.I.'s 21-year-old son, King Harris, completely threw gasoline on the raging fire. Going live on Instagram from a crowded studio, surrounded by an aggressive entourage, King Harris looked directly into the camera lens and unleashed a wave of furious disrespect, yelling for that old, bitter dude from Zone 6 to stop barking on the internet because nobody is scared of him, and warning that his family stands on absolute business and won't be intimidated by broken studio tables or empty threats. The digital space instantly mutated into an absolute war zone, with fake Twitter threads tearing the rap ecosystem apart. Industry insiders were tweeting in absolute panic at Hip Hop Viper stated, "Breaking. Sources claim T.I. is currently at an undisclosed, heavily fortified location recording a lethal response track. He is reportedly losing his mind over King Harris being targeted by street elements." At raptracker_TL tweeted, "Look at the leaked security logs from Buckhead. This isn't rap music anymore. This is corporate warfare mixed with real-world malice. Someone called Jay Prince before the weekend hits." Even 50 Cent couldn't resist the chaos, posting a sarcastic meme of the shattered studio table on Instagram with a caption mocking the cost of creative differences in Atlanta and warning T.I. to keep his vest on because Gucci doesn't look like he's trying to win a Grammy. But just as the internet was digesting this wave of pure madness, an anonymous hacker group uploaded a string of encrypted text messages allegedly intercepted from a major streaming platform executive's private device. The leaked messages show a chilling, hidden corporate plot that changes the entire motive behind this feud. The texts reveal that T.I.'s brutal diss track, Crown Custody, wasn't an emotional outburst at all. It was allegedly a calculated, corporate-subsidized hit job designed to systematically devalue Gucci Mane's independent catalog, so a multi-billion-dollar tech conglomerate could violently force a hostile takeover of 1017's master recordings. Which raises a brand new, terrifying question that has the entire industry shivering in fear. If T.I.'s retirement album is actually a weapon funded by shadow corporations to destroy independent black music labels, who is the real king, and who is just a pawn in a multi-million-dollar game of death? Keep your eyes locked on the screen, because the public explosion that followed this corporate revelation has just forced the rest of the industry to pick a side. The global hip-hop community is now completely fractured into two fiercely warring factions, and the internet has turned into an absolute digital battlefield. The viral hashtags #TeamGucci and #TeamTip are trending worldwide, generating millions of hostile comments, video breakdowns, and intense fan debates every single hour. The sheer scale of this controversy has forced the biggest names in the entertainment industry to step forward, drop their neutrality, and deliver their final verdicts on who is right and who is wrong. On one side of the trenches stand the die-hard, hardcore street purists who are fiercely defending Gucci Mane. They argue that T.I. broke the most sacred, unwritten laws of hip-hop culture by using his final album to weaponize unproven legal rumors and corporate paperwork against a fellow pioneer. To them, Gucci Mane's violent, explosive studio reaction was completely justified. They believe that when a man's street credibility and character are publicly assassinated on a global platform, a musical response is not enough. You have to defend your name with pure, uncompromising power. On the opposing side stands the massive mainstream audience supporting T.I. They are flooding comment sections with old news articles, court records, and memes mocking Gucci Mane's anger. They claim that Gucci Mane is simply terrified because T.I.'s lyrics exposed an uncomfortable truth that he didn't want the world to see. They argue that T.I., as the self-proclaimed king of the South, has every right to use his final album to clear his conscience, drop the ultimate truth bombs, and expose the hypocrisy of anyone who tried to challenge his crown over the last 20 years. The controversy reached a boiling point when hip-hop's ultimate internet troll and media mastermind, 50 Cent, decided to weigh in on the drama. Taking to his official Instagram account, 50 Cent posted a side-by-side photo of Gucci Mane's broken studio table and T.I.'s album cover, adding a savage, sarcastic caption that immediately racked up over 500,000 likes within 30 minutes. Damn. Creative differences in Atlanta are getting expensive. Gucci out here destroying thousands of dollars of studio equipment because Clifford wrote some good poems. Look, if I were you, Clifford, I'd keep my security tight. Gucci doesn't look like he's trying to win a Grammy. He looks like he's trying to win a lifetime sentence. Enjoy your retirement, man. It might be a very loud one. The comments section under every major hip-hop channel has become an all-out war zone. A user named TrapLord99 commented, "Gucci Mane is a real-world predator in this game. T.I. thinks this is a movie set. You can't talk down on a man who actually beat a murder case and expect him to just write a verse. T.I. played with fire, and now his whole family is in danger." Another fan, KingTip_fan, shot back, "Y'all are blind. T.I. spoke nothing but facts on Crown custody. Gucci has been acting real strange since his artist got hit with those federal charges. Clifford stood 10 toes down during his legal troubles. Gucci is just mad because his mask got ripped off." Meanwhile, the legendary Rick Ross attempted to play the role of a mature, diplomatic mediator during a high-profile radio interview on Morning Grind Atlanta, but even his statements carried an underlying tone of deep concern and subtle warning. Ross stated on air, "Look, man, I love both of those brothers. They are both absolute kings who built the platform we are all eating off of today. But we have to be real about the streets. When you start talking about paperwork, and when you start bringing up the year 2005, the energy changes. This isn't entertainment anymore. This is real life, real families, and real empires on the line. The industry division is growing wider by the second. Radio stations across the South are reportedly banning T.I.'s Crown Custody track from their airwaves out of sheer fear that playing the song could incite real-world violence outside their broadcasting studios. Major club promoters in Atlanta have officially halted booking VIP sections for both entourages, completely altering the city's nightlife landscape. The public is terrified, the celebrities are taking cover, and the entire rap community is holding its breath, waiting for the final, devastating blow to land. Because a statement has just leaked from the upper echelons of the industry that points to an even deeper, uglier betrayal. Just as the entire world was reeling from the shock of this corporate warfare, the absolute ultimate bombshell dropped in the dead of night, completely resetting the board and leaving the entire music industry in a state of sheer, unadulterated terror. The countdown timer that suddenly appeared on Gucci Mane's official website, blinking in blood-red text under the ominous title, "The True Death of the King," is ticking closer to zero by the second. But it's what T.I.'s camp did in response to this countdown that has confirmed everyone's worst nightmares. At exactly 6 a.m., a leaked document from the federal court clerk's office in Georgia revealed that T.I.'s high-powered legal team scrambled to file an emergency, midnight federal injunction to completely seize Gucci Mane's web domains and legally block the broadcast of the Clifford files. Think about that for a second. If this was just a standard hip-hop beef, and if Gucci Mane was just bluffing with empty threats, why would T.I.'s lawyers be panicking at a federal level to shut it down? They are panicking because the Clifford files are real, and they are catastrophic. An anonymous source inside the legal team leaked a single sentence from the sealed court filings, and it has sent a literal chill down the spine of every major artist in the South. The leak claims that Gucci's master tape contains a decrypted audio recording from an encrypted wiretap, where a voice identical to T.I. is heard discussing a massive, secret arrangement with federal prosecutors, one that dates all the way back to the mid-2010s. This recording doesn't just implicate Gucci Mane. It reportedly names multiple top-tier Atlanta rappers, executives, and street figures, effectively framing T.I.'s entire legacy as a street king as a calculated, government-sanctioned play to eliminate his corporate competition. But here is the final, mind-bending twist that has left the public completely breathless. Gucci Mane didn't get these files from a random internet hacker group. A secondary leak from an encrypted communication network used by elite celebrity bodyguards reveals that the hard drive containing the Clifford files was stolen directly out of T.I.'s private home safe in Buckhead. And the person who handed that drive over to a 1017 representative? The rumors are pointing directly to an absolute inside betrayal within the Harris family household itself. Someone deeply embedded in T.I.'s inner circle, someone who has watched the family drama unfold for years, finally chose a side and handed Gucci Mane the ultimate weapon to destroy the king. The psychological warfare has now reached a point of no return. As we speak, heavily armed, private tactical security teams have been spotted setting up a massive perimeter around an undisclosed, secret warehouse location on the outskirts of Atlanta. Insiders are reporting that an emergency, high-stakes meeting has been called behind closed doors, where both T.I. and Gucci Mane are rumored to be heading right now for a final, face-to-face confrontation before the countdown timer hits 0. No cameras, no press, and no police. Just two legendary giants staring into the jaws of a 20-year hatred. If this meeting goes left, it won't just be the end of an album rollout. It will be a literal historical catastrophe that will alter the rap map forever. The red lights are flashing, the timer is down to its final hours, and a devastating truth is about to explode. You cannot afford to look away now, because what happens in the next 24 hours will change hip-hop forever. Keep your eyes locked right here, because the final piece of this puzzle is about to drop. This is hands down the most dangerous, jaw-dropping moment in hip-hop history, and the clock is ticking to absolute destruction. We need to hear your voice right now down in the comment section below. Do you believe T.I. crossed a line by weaponizing street rumors on Kill the King? Or does Gucci Mane's explosive studio reaction prove he is terrified of the truth? Are you hashtag Team Gucci or hashtag Team Tip? Flood the comments with your theories, because we are monitoring the section right now. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on all access notifications so you don't miss our emergency breakdown the absolute millisecond that blood red countdown timer hits 0.